Hey, what is up, you guys? TITOBODS here, and today we're going to talk about some of the bizarre stuff that's happening within the fights and some of the battles in the arena and everything that I noticed during the GEE and before that, and we're going to discuss about it because there are a few fights that for my alt account that I should have not won, and also there are a few fights that my co-alliance members should have not won also, but we have some data and I want you guys to know about it. Maybe you guys did experience some of this stuff that you should have not won, but you won it anyway. And also, we're going to talk about the reality of the GE attacking cities and everything like that in this video. Please lend us a bit of your time for some short words from our partner for today.
Eniba is your go-to digital store for games, gift cards, game points, and top-ups. And with TITOBODS special link, you can get up to 20% cashback on Age of Empires mobile products, only on the marketplace. Eniba, the fastest-growing marketplace for gamers. Ahoo!
We're going to talk about first my experience on a certain PvP. Okay, so I am up against, as you can see here, a T8, and I am a T7, right? But still, as you can see from this picture, you will see he or this player has, let's say, a little bit more of research for his troops than my troops. It's evident that he is a pure pikeman user, maybe a little bit of a swordsman user because of the amount of troops that his Miyamoto has here. And as you can see, even though it's hard to kill a T8 with just a T7, we still did manage to do it. Although, in this fight that I should have recorded, because I didn't really know that I will win, it's evident in the fight that the main pikeman for this particular player is actually Cyrus, because it took me a while. It took me the life of my Miyamoto, the life of my Cyrus, and the life of my Otto before I took down his Cyrus. Now the thing about is that I or my Ramesses was the only hero remaining when I took down every remaining marches in this fight. So clearly states sometimes that maybe your hero or main hero, as in my case, my main hero is my Ramesses. That's my main march that I am using. Can really deal with T8s as long as they are not the ones maybe maxed out or the main hero of the player. But in my experience on the fights with the other servers, attacking T8s, even if they are the same level as you that has T8s, you are still going to have a pretty bad exchange when it comes to elimination. I think it still is a little bit maybe because of my build or something like that. Plus the fact that this is a counter or direct counter against his other troops. So that's what I think. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. So we have here this player versus, I'm going to show you later on my power on my alt and the results of the fights. So here, as you can see, this is the actual battle here. The heroes, as you can see here, are not maxed out yet. But this is not the main march in this account. This is an alternate account. I'm going to show you my power and my research in a bit. But as you can see, the gears even are higher than the gear of my Lubu here. And even the rings are, I think, almost on the same, let's say, level. The only thing I think that I have an advantage on are the mounts. But overall, as you can see here, the amount of troops is 160 versus 140k. Even the might here, let's say the might is a little bit higher on my end, but the others are, he has complete advantage, as you can see here. But I still won that fight though. Yes, as you can see here, those are the buffs. These are the rings and everything. Even the stats here, look at this. Even the healings are really good, look at that. But we still won. We won the merits and the let's say losses. But he won the final fight, as you can see here. I retreated though, 33k still. But I think I could have gotten more, I guess, if I let it sit there in the gold mine. That's what I think. I think I could have gotten a little bit more from his losses here. That's what I think. Yeah, but this one, he has his Lubu with him. But look at the difference. Only a fraction of, let's say, 2k? 1.8k, something like that. That's actually just the difference here. We'll have a remaining troops here, as you can see. 28k. And versus, look at this. The merits, though, I still have more merits. But look at this. The enemy heroes versus my heroes, as you can see. The difference in power of the heroes, he has way more. Also in the gear. Now, in the rings, though, I have a little bit of advantage just a few advantage though. But given the fact that he is 150, that's actually, I think, he has way more power on that one. The only difference again here is the mounts. So this is a Thunderbolt, and then the mount is just level 1. So I think the difference really here is because of the, let's say, the adornments. Okay, so this is not his main though, for sure, because the adornments is not their adornments. So sometimes it just show that sometimes maybe your adornments or your overall output for your troops can actually outweighs the power of the research. The buffs here with the might attack, he has more strategy, everything. He has more percentages on the buffs on everything. Even the might, look at this. My might is just at this level. Even my Ila has way less might compared to him. I should not have won that fight though, I think. It's maybe because of the adornments, that's why. And I think, so that means that the adornments really has a lot of addition. And look at this one though. Oh, he didn't even change anything. Look at this. It's weird, right? Like comparing that fight to this fight. The results here are kind of different. Look at this. I think it's the same one, I guess. Okay, so he used a 10% buff for his might and 10% buff on his defense. So I didn't use any of those, of course. As you can see there, he used 10% of buffs for his troops. That my account here is just 94M versus his account. So yeah, it's a little bit bizarre to say the least. But I think it's because of the adornments though. So the adornments really has a lot of impact. So I think on the adornments, you don't really need to max it out. And I think it's a huge thing. And because of it, we won that fight. But I think we have some fights here from our alliance members. This guy right here is a free-to-play player. So Darth Rider is a free-to-play player. And as you can see here, he was attacked by Krax. And Krax, if you don't know, is one of the T8 players who is a Kraken with a sovereign, celestial sovereign march in or from his server. So when he attacked, he has more losses here. As you can see here, he attacked with multiple heroes. As you can see here, when you have that much, let's say T7s maybe, or troops, I'm thinking it's not all T7s though. But when you have that much in your city and you were attacked, you will have a positive exchanges all the time. So even if you are attacked or swarmed by a kraken at your highest peak, let's say here, you can still do a very decent job with the exchanges. And I will show you again how hard it is to attack during this in today's cities. Okay, so I was attacking this guy with the mixed troops of 2 million. Okay, I only got like 5k losses from this fight. So I did just try to hit it. 1.8k versus 5k losses right off the bat. And I'm using my pikeman here because he's using his lubu. And the merits though only has like a 1.4k difference, but the losses right away is huge. Like look at that the damage though. Now I tried my lubu march versus his lubu here. And as you can see, it's hard to attack a city now, and the losses are really huge. So this is just a test. That's why I did this. So this was a sacrificial test for me to check this out because we're going to get still 65% of those. So that's I think okay, in my opinion. So you can see it's hard to attack now, and I think the power of the guy is I won't attack a player with higher than let's say 60 or 70 mil, and I think he's on that let's say power level. And it just proves that with the troops, even mixed troops, you will still be able to defend yourself against players with higher power than you. And even if you are attacking cities, you're still going, even if you are a powerful player, you are going to have a hard time before you see a good exchanges. You can see here another losses here, but this time around, it's the pikeman. And another one here, I guess. Look at this. So here we are having lower and lower losses because the troops are now lower also from his side. So this is actually a good one. But still, the losses are really huge. Like, look at that. And then I think this is another one here. I think this is a positive exchange though. Oh, so this one is another negative exchange, like 30k losses. But the merits are almost the same now, as you can see here. So this is actually a test for me to show you guys how hard it is to attack a city right now without proper help from other players. As you can see here also. Now the losses here are now tilted. We have now positive exchanges with 1B1s here, as you can see. So you see here the mixed troops. I think when it comes to 100k troops versus 500k troops, I can have a positive, maybe at least 600. I can have a positive exchanges there, but it's really a little hard to get there. So you have to sacrifice. You can see another positive one because of 200k only on the mixed troops. So before you can get to that level there, you will see a huge, like, let's say sacrifice before you can get to that level wherein you can decimate the city and get positive exchanges. So I think it's only logical to avoid these types of fights if you are not a huge player. And another one is that you can seek help from your friends or your alliances with this one. So let the Krakens maybe attack it first, and once it hits like the range that you can hit it, for me in my opinion is 600 mixed troops, maybe even if it's pure T7s at the 600 500k range, you can attack it solo. But beyond that, with a million or something, you need a little bit of help. So you even if you attack the city with another one attacking it, and it's probably at 2 million or 1 million plus, you're going to have a huge losses. So let this be a lesson for you guys. So that's it for attacking cities. You can see earlier that we have a positive results when our player is being attacked, even if he is a free-to-play player, but his city has tremendous amounts of troops. So the other Krakens can't touch him because of that, because of the negative losses that they actually have. And he has more of those, but I didn't really get the other screenshots. So anyway, I think that's a positive thing there. If you have, or if you're a free-to-play player and you have that much troops, as long as they are huge or at the T7 tier, I think you're going to be fine. But make sure to always shield still if you are not online for a while and you think your city is going to be attacked. May it be on your map or the enemy's map. So make sure you do that though. So here is another example of that one. So you can see here, this is a player I think of like 70 mil, and this is my main account though. This is my main account, and I'm using my pikeman. Even with the 30% advantage, still we got a lot of losses. But when this player hits like 800k, so you can see there we got positive exchanges. But this time around, I was using my Rameses, so we have more firepower. So make sure you use your main troops when you fight this kind of fight. And I think I was warming him, I guess. I kind of forgot. Here's another one. But this is still at 800 mixed troops. 800k mixed troops. So that's, I think, the only time you want to do it is at, let's say, I think he is a 70 mil plus player. I kind of remember his name. So as you can see here, we got positive exchanges. So I think the safest bet is if the player has, like, if you are a huge player than him, maybe like, let's say 50 mil in difference, you attack him maybe at 800 mil mixed troops. But another thing is you can also attack players uh that has like 600 or 500 mil troops in the city. If you are a lower powered player like mine, maybe you are at 80 mil, you can attack a player like that or city like that. So for those players who are on that power level of 60 mil, 70 mil, make sure you always pop your shield. That's actually it. And honestly speaking, there are a lot of free-to-play players that are now at 80 million, or let's say 70 million plus, and some of them are 80 million plus. Those active players that are free to play since the first day. That's actually their let's say power right now. That's how huge they are. So they get all the possible speed ups or rewards or freebies that they can get. So there are some of them in our servers that are super active, like every day online, every day getting, or every event getting all the possible rewards. So, yeah. And some of the other players are 70 mil plus, which is good, I think. So they can actually do some defense. Like, let's say that what we have here with Vidar, they get like 3 million troops already. Although it's like somewhat not really fighting in the field that much and choosing fights, which is the logical thing to do. So I have one more results that I want you guys to see. Hang on. So we have here a fight between a Miyamoto and this March though. But the thing is, the March that I face doesn't really have that much level on the Timor though. But as you can see here, they have way better rings than me. Level 30 on this one, I only have level 21. And then they have level 40 on the Nightwolf ring. And all skills are max, as you can see there. I think the only difference, maybe I guess, are the mouse, but we're going to see in a bit. Okay, so as you can see here, these are the damage output. Look at that. That's the damage output. The buffs, as you can see here, we have like 700 only on the strategy, and they have 708, so they have a little bit of advantage. Also on the Lubu, look at this, 731. I don't have that much might nor strategy on my end. Even my CPU doesn't have that much might. Look at this. And as you can see here, 655 here. I only have like 1% on the health though, but the strategy defense is very low on the player though. That's the thing. The strategy defense is a little bit low, and I think I have way more um, troop capacity on my end in this fight. So let's see. So their gems are, I think, okay. So the attack gems, that's logical. These are logical. I think this can be another passive. That's what I think. But that can also be accepted though, because of the skill of Xiao Yun. So you can see here, Thunderbolt plus Valor is a good skill because his skill can actually do critical strike. Plus the Valor is for his signature skill. And then they have Shadow Chaser, which is also good. Sacred Lily at level 34. Look at that. Level 34. That is a huge chunk of levels there also. And here, as you can see also on the Lubu. So yeah, I guess he is using more of a health than a troop capacity. That's, I think, my advantage there. And also, look at this. So health again. Health again, yes, that's actually, I think, the thing here. And maybe, I guess, they're looking for more damage here. That's why the troop attack is here instead. And let's see the adornments. Boiling Blood, which is really good. And then level 34. This is way higher than my levels on my adornments. My adornments are just level 20. I'm going to show you in a bit. Look at this also. Iron Reach plus Bedrock plus Mine. Look at that. That's a huge thing. Another resistance. 34 again on the levels. Compare it to mine though. Let's compare it. So mine has like, let's say, level 32 here on my main. And then level 30 something, 20 on my other adornments also here. I think level 20, yeah. So on the mounts, I think he has way better mounts than mine. So it doesn't really matter if it's way on, let's say, 34 or something, because it's actually just going to add more to your health. But the thing is, I think I have an advantage on is because I am strategy, maybe, but I didn't really expect to have that much of a difference in the damage. Look at this, 174k versus his damage here. Maybe I have way more defense, I guess. But my might defense is 560. He still has like 100k, 100% more might attack, and then on the strategy defense though, I have like I have 100 and only 40k, 140% only because of the strategy attack, strategy defense here. And it really has a little bit of, I don't know what happened there, but this is another bizarre fight. Is it because of the 3 stars? Maybe it can possibly be, but you saw the buffs, you saw the skills, you saw the rings, everything, you saw the adornments and everything there. I should be like at least having more losses than this one. And I guess it doesn't really or didn't really proc that much on the critical, maybe. It's a possibility. But once I saw this player again, I will try to attack them again. But this is the result. So this is another bizarre fight here. So that last one happened in a Regency, but still, for me, Regency is where you really want, or you can see some of the tests that you want to do, you can do it there. And I think that's about it for this video, guys. I just want you guys to see some of the bizarre happenings that happened this past week when it comes to the fight that I want to share with you guys. Also, I want you guys to be aware of the GE exchanges when it comes to the city. Even though you are a low-powered player and you are being attacked by a high-powered player, you can have a huge chunk of damage and points doing it that way. So maybe in time, you can use that knowledge to your advantage and maybe bait some players to attack your city maybe. And in exchange, you will get a good chunk of damage when you still have, like, let's say 2 million troops. And then when eventually you are losing your troops at the end, let's say they attack you more than once to get the to get the advantage back, maybe you can port after getting, like, let's say 1 or 2 attacks, and then you are winning the exchanges, and then you port after that. But anyway, guys, hopefully this video kinds of like show you something that maybe you have experienced yourself, and if you did, maybe you could share your experience or bizarre encounters when it comes to reports or battles that you want to share with the squad. And what do you think about this video, guys? Do you want to see more of this kinds of, let's say, breakdown or analysis or maybe tips in a way? What runs through your head, or what are your thoughts on the bizarre fights that we have in this video? And also, if you have any thoughts or recommendation on the GE attacking cities and everything, what do you think about that particular event and attacking cities now versus attacking cities then? Whatever your thoughts are, your recommendations, or your suggestions, kindly leave them all down in the comments. And again, we're going to talk everything there. Hopefully, also, with that, we can help the other members of our squad to have the perspective on this particular topic. Anyway, guys, hope you have enjoyed this video and hope we can reach more players in the process. As always, have a great day to everyone. This is your TITOBODS, and I will see you in the next one. And hey, click on this video right here for more awesome TITOBODS content. Thanks for watching, you guys, and TITOBODS out.